Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We just wanted to let you guys know what's been going on lately, and it's pretty serious. Our emails were hacked. So if you've been trying to contact us through our Kembo emails, you probably got a bounce back, and for that, we apologize.
Yeah, this has been going on for about a week, and it took a while to figure out what was going on. And the company that hosts these emails, they changed servers, and somehow during this maintenance and server change, our emails became unusable to us or anyone else. Nobody at tech support for days could figure this out. They were actually mystified. They'd never seen anything like this. They had a lot of email troubles with this server change, but ours was unique and they didn't know what to do with it. And I think that they were infiltrated. I think that somebody got in during a breach of security while they were switching things over. I don't know if it was done from the inside. I don't know how it happened, but if you've been trying to email us, you won't be able to. So we have new emails now, just normal web-based Gmail accounts that although they read everything, I mean, everybody reads everything anyway, right? I mean,
Right.
there's no privacy in this world. The security there is such that I know that you'll be able to get in touch with us now.
Yeah, the new emails are on the website, on the contact page, so just go there.
It's the About Us page.
Yes, the About Us
Yes.
page. And yeah, when the whole tech support team is baffled by what's going on, you know that's a pretty serious problem. And Don Croft was right.
Yeah, he was.
When he said that you got to use web-based emails when you're doing this kind of subversive work.
Yeah, he used a Gmail account himself, and I've always been kind of against the idea of using it because I don't want to use a Google account because Google is the enemy. But look, here we are on
all
YouTube,
the
and
enemy.
and they run YouTube, and without this, we wouldn't be able to reach so many people. So although they hate us using their platform, and they hate people like us using their platform, this is the easiest way to get information out. Hopefully one day there'll be other ways, but this is the best way for us to reach you and talk to you about what's been going on. And the truth is, we have been under heavy attack for a very long time. My book is done. I finished writing it. We're editing it. We're picking pictures. We've got a designer. We've got a print shop we've called about getting it done. And the closer I get to finishing the book, the heavier the attacks. Like right now, as I speak to you, I literally feel my head being crushed. I have a terrible headache from days and days of stress, being on the phone with tech support. Nobody can figure it out. And you guys all know how stressful it is to work on technical stuff. But on top of it, when you have frequency-based attacks, it doesn't matter that we have 1,000 pieces of orgonite in our house.
At least.
It's not that that doesn't help, but there's more going on here because even with the presence of OR, there's still the presence of DOR because we're in a constant battle. And they use it more heavy-handed on people like us because we're actively tearing down their control structure.
Well, the Silicon Valley gifting, I'm sure, played a huge
I know.
part in that. And that was absolutely enormous to take. Even though there weren't that many towers per capita, it's
They
just,
don't need them.
as we explained in an episode, it's just a very, very big stronghold for the parasites. And we felt that very strongly going into it. And yeah, that definitely played a part. But yeah, you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel
Well,
here with the book. And
yeah,
it's a convergence of many things.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
they're really, really, really angry right now. And there's also other stuff going on in the background because, as you know, we have all kinds of methods of fighting them, both etherically and legally. And without getting into too much detail, they're really suffering. We're really hurting them. But as we hurt them, they hit back with frequency attacks. And as we sit here, this beautiful fog is rolling in over the mountain. It's incredible. It's a tremendous energy transmutation. And they're also hitting me directly in the brain right now and giving me a tremendous headache.
They're crushing your head.
They're crushing my
like,
head.
Like the kids in the hall guy.
So we just wanted to talk a little bit about it because I know that a lot of people have been trying to email us and been getting bounce backs, and it's been frustrating. And people are literally sending us letters by mail because of it. But so you know, we're back up and running. The emails are on the site. thekembo@gmail.com is mine, and that's just how you can get in touch with both of us. Gabe has his own email up there too.
Yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, I can't imagine why, but it would be gabriel.lazar1985@gmail.com. It's on there. And yes, that is my birth year. So if you want to contact me for whatever reason, if you need some golf tips, or if you want to talk about Kings hockey, that's the way to do it.
You can also ask Gabriel your Organite questions. He's very good at answering those too.
That too.
Selling yourself short.
I know. Well, that's another one of my personality flaws, I guess.
Well, I mean, the good news is the Kembo.com is up and running. Everything's fine on that end. The only thing they were able to attack was the email accounts. They are defunct. There's nothing we can do to resuscitate them. And we could move them to a different company, but we've decided not to on the advice of Don Croft. May he rest in peace. He was correct about that. And, I think that we may have, in some ways, butted heads with Don Croft a little bit, but we also agreed on some things. I know that this is one of the things he was definitely right about. As far as mystical air spirits eating the chemtrails, I don't agree with him about that
Not
point.
so much.
I do agree with a scientific explanation of it and a spiritual explanation that involves the energy of creation, the energy of God, but I'm not about the mystical air spirits. However, yes, he's right. I thought he was just being paranoid. I really thought he was just being paranoid, but it's true. They can much more easily hack these emails that are connected with your own domain than they can a web-based email.
Yes, but the fact of the matter is that you can't really understand something like this until it has happened to you. So you can hear someone talk about it, but believe me, when it happens, that's when you know.
Yeah, we've gone for years like this and it's been fine, but now it's happened. But it's because the book's coming out. It's because of the Silicon Valley gifting. We have a video about that if you want to listen to that and hear more about what we did in Silicon Valley. I've also documented it on the blog, thekembo.tumblr.com. And also recently, you probably have heard in the news that there's been a lot of terrible wildfires in California, a lot of arson. Because what was happening was back in August, it was reported in the news that we've had the mildest fire season in 20 years. And the reason for that is we had a ton of rain. We had a record-breaking winter. So everything was saturated with water and the plants don't burn as easily. But they just took the opportunity. They usually like to do it in October. That's pretty typical. And they lit the state on fire, 200 wildfires independently set. There's no way these started on their own. They made a big hysteria about the power companies having to shut down power because of what happened in Butte County last year when PG&E didn't shut down power during dangerous conditions. And then the fire started up there. That was the Camp Fire.
Which is a terrible name.
I know. Well, they always do that kind of thing. Like the one called the Car Fire that was started by a burning car. It's terrible. It's so embarrassing. But the news surrounding these fires, you could read it, and I documented this on the blog too. You could check it out. It was all fake. As far as them saying Santa Ana winds were causing the fires to spread, the winds were not Santa Ana winds. That comes from the east. The winds were all coming from the west. The conditions were cool and not very windy, just a little breezy. Some places where there were gusty winds, they were coming from the west, not the east, as they said. These fires were all independently set. And I think of this as more of like, instead of a red flag warning that they called it, I'll call it a false flag warning because these were false flag fires. They were all set. It was all planned. And because the electric companies wanted to make they were making a big, it was like a big publicity stunt over it. And this is another huge thing that's been happening lately. That's probably another reason for these attacks because I did expose this on the blog. They said in advance they were going to shut down people's power over these fires. And then they ended up doing that to a lot of people, not to us. Fortunately, we didn't lose power, but they made a big production over this. And then after saying they're going to shut down power, then they had these kind of fake reports from like witnesses, no names given, just a witness said they saw sparks coming off a power pole or something like that. Stuff that doesn't really happen. So go check it out if you want to know what was going on with the lies surrounding the fires. But there's just so much being exposed right now. And if there's anything the parasites hate, it's exposure. They hate that we went into their stronghold in Silicon Valley and saturated it with organite. We neutralized about 250 towers over a few days in that area. And that's a lot because we don't just do a few. We take an area and we do the whole thing.
Well, I think the point here overall is that this is not a time to let up. We have to keep our foot on the gas now and hurt them while they're down.
Yeah.
And I think your book is going to put to rest a lot of these misconceptions that are still lingering about weather and
Right.
fires and global warming, which they
Right.
don't even call it global warming anymore. They call it climate change because it's a little more ambiguous, but that's a whole other story.
This book explains everything that you've been thinking. I mean, it talks about everything we've all been thinking. And the chemtrails were only just the catalyst to lead to the discoveries we made. And when you see what the chemtrails led to, you'll be astonished. So I know they don't want this information getting out, but it's getting out. So thank you for your patience while we regroup from this attack. Thank you for all your support. Please visit thechembo.com to learn more about our work, and you'll get our new contact info there. And we will keep you posted on progress in the book. I'm hoping a couple of months at most. And if you want to support us, you can donate to us. We appreciate it. We have a store where you can buy Organite. You can also learn to make your own through using our instructional videos, also at thechembo.com. Thank you very much, and we will be back soon with another episode.